Looks like it's going to be a pretty soggy night here at TIAA Bank Field. Rain showers, maybe an occasional clap of thunder supposed to continue throughout here in Jacksonville. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports.
Go set. Watch 57. Let's go, baby. Then turn it over. Get that ball. Get that ball. Check point.
Here's Rashad Penny, first carry for the former San Diego State Aztec. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Here's Darnold. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. On second down, Eckler. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Brings up third down and 12.
Here goes Hunt. Mike 57. Mike 57. I got him.
Throwing here on third down, Darnold. And he finds Clark. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 31-yard line.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
And he winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, watch it. Lady.
From the 29, Darnold. He's got his 6'5 receiver. That's Tim Patrick. And the Packers pick it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, that maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
Because warm-ups were dry.
Oh, well, dry. Now you've got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
second down. Here's Henry. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
On third down, it's Prescott. He finds his target. It's Crowder. A third down gain of 19. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got some turnover. We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where's
under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now on second and 13. Darnold, incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Throwing on second and long. Darnold. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground.
It's now third down and long.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. A shotgun snap for Darnold. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football. But likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. So on fourth down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Back deep, Antonio Brown. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Taken in at the 11. A great return there of 22 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10.
At their own 34-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
How about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
The last run got a couple. Here's second and 8.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
Play action now. Prescott. And And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Montez Sweat in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on third down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. Had to pass there, third and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything. That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for third and short, because when it's third and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football. It's a 45-yard punt and 8 on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts. So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier. Now off the bootleg, Darnold. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted, thrown back across his body. It's Chris Harris with a pick, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. And, Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon, so that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips, and this one winds up getting intercepted. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives. So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it. Punt's better. Punt's better than the turnover. The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
Brings up second and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10. Derrick Henry. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. Prescott to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And not a blitzer, but still able to get there from a strong safety position. Yeah, I think that was a great example of what they call football IQ. Recognizing he was open, had a chance, and went ahead and got to the quarterback. Here's Logan Cook now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And given the elements, this might have been what we would have expected, Charles. Scoreless into the second quarter. The elements have definitely played a part in this game, a big part. And I think that both teams have been a little slow to adjust their playbook and start playing to whatever their strengths are in these conditions. And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first. 2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. Coming up at the half, a reminder we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the third down stop. Back to throw, Darnold. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Getting the sack, the 227-pound linebacker Quan Alexander. And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. With it is Brown. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, first and 10.
At their own 40-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. To throw is Prescott. And his throw here is incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. Third down here. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Check the hot read. Hey, kill. 47. 26.
Prescott from the gun. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And no return here. This one's going inside the 15 to the 12-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
First and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Here I come again.
Draw play. It's Eckler. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Mackenzie Alexander in on the tackle. So plenty of action on the field, but no action right now on the scoreboard, at least as of yet. 0-0 is our score. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And we thought this game had the potential to be tight, maybe not this tight, scoreless as we start the third quarter.
And I love the way you use the word tight. I'm going to take it a little bit different direction here because it's not just tight on the scoreboard. I think both offenses have been tight in how they've played this game. No one's been loose. No one's been free. They've got to find a way to make some plays, and I don't think you do it if you're really tight in everything that you're doing in the game.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Check 24, check 24. Kill. 26.
They keep it with Henry on 1st down. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And this is incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Here's Prescott. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 30 yards there, and of course the 1st down as well. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Prescott. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. And again, it's Prescott. Into the hands of his running back, Marlon Mack.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Deshaun Hand in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. Well, some good news, partner. We will not have a scoreless tie as we finally get our first points of the contest here in quarter 3.
Yeah, just a field goal, but with the way those defenses ruled in the 1st half, that could be a big 3-point play right there, couldn't it?
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally, because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now third down. Hate to say it, but that play typifies what we've seen from this offense all game long.
Yeah, don't you think maybe you flip over your play sheet as the offensive coordinator and see the side that says try something different? You know, because this has not worked all game long. They continue to try and get it done. They've got to come up with something a little bit different. Try something special, something they haven't seen.
Anything to score a point. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. They're pretty woeful there. Just 23 yards on the punt. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10.
Kill.
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Henry. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Switch. Watch out.
10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. Here's Prescott. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And a throw there going to be incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, that was a show of support to even allow him to attempt to make that kick. And you know if he did, that would tie the NFL record. That's a heck of a shot.
Yeah, it would have been a big deal, but a little bit short.
57 to Mike. Hey, watch the slant.
On first down, it's Darnold. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Darnold, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. But Jacksonville first down on a pickup of 17. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Running on first down, Eckler. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Back now in Jacksonville. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Bobby Wagner, the former 2nd rounder out of Utah State, with a sack. The Jaguars on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Darnold from the gun. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Goal down for the field goal. A 55-yard attempt.
And this is going to wind up left. Well struck, but it's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Prescott from the gun on 3rd. Got a man, Slayton. And he's got this down to the 35. It's a gain of 16 and a 1st down for the green and gold.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Slap. 46.
A man who played college football here in the Sunshine State. It's USF's Marlon Mack. Jonathan Jones there to make the stop. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock. How about that shuffle pass? Or if you want to call it the shovel pass, that's fine too. That's one of those plays that you can take a little bit of risk there because you're trying to throw the ball into the middle of the field where a lot of big bodies lurk, and they can knock it away, pick it off, but they were able to execute it successfully on that play.
Prescott now. Open man is Allison, complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards the 2-minute warning. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They run the draw play with Mack, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. The linebacker C.J. Mosley in on the stop. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They face a second down, but they are in field goal range.
Give me some. Give me some.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Henry. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. After that run, still a good amount of meat on the bone here for this third down play. Can you envision them putting this in the air?
Totally. I mean, look at who he has under center right now. If you can't trust him with the football, you can't trust anyone. And frankly, to me, I want the ball down the stretch. Get the first down, keep it in the hands of my offense. I don't want to turn it over to them and rely on my D.
Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Looking to throw, Prescott, and he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Antonio Brown, his first touchdown on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. They do tack on the extra point as well, and the lead grows to 10-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
And once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Now Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dontari Poe marches in for the sack. Well, it was 2nd and long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Hey, dude. 57. Mike, 57. All day, punk.
Darnold now to throw. He'll get this one to Patrick. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They snap it. They're going for it. Here's Darnold. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
They'll run it again with Henry. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. And the busy night for Henry continues. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
It's now 4th down.
So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and not all W's are created equal, CD, and this one came in shutout fashion.
Well, their offense certainly didn't need to do anything, right? They could take the day off, and they did. But the defense, they carried them in a big way.
Yeah, look, the offense obviously stuff to work on, but they did enough, and the defense carried the load.
But you know what they say? It's always fun to work on things if it didn't go well in your game with a victory in your pocket, and that's what they've got going forward.
So for Green Bay, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And perhaps fortunately for them, they'll get an early bye next week and come back to action in Week 7. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.